We'll be speaking the next slide, please. Just a little about some important issues regarding lessons learned and also what's going on in terms of the new pandemic agreement that has been just approved in the World Health Assembly recently, and that has specifically an article dedicated to regulatory issues, because that was found to be so important during the last pandemic and to be taken into consideration for potential future pandemics. And we have there, it's a pity that it's not, it's a little teeny, the letter, but we have there key topics like the role of expedited regulatory review, which has been, we'll be commenting that in a following slide, is the need to strengthen the frameworks and to build technical capacity to be ready for adapting to pandemic conditions where we don't need and we are not able to follow the regular procedures for introduction of vaccines and medical products. And so we have to be ready to have the regulatory conditions to be able to weigh the safety and the need of the product and the efficacy according to regulatory procedures for emergency situations where we don't have the same patterns as for regular situations. And this new pandemic agreement that should be ratified by country is providing some lines for countries on this matter. We also have the pandemic agreement dealing with vigilance, the importance of vigilance for new products, particularly when we have products that don't have enough safety profiles finished or completed, and we need to have an intensive follow-up of the products. Chesko already mentioned that when they are introduced to the market. And so we have to have in place some mechanisms for implementing these specific measures regarding vigilance, intensive vigilance, or even active vigilance. And also have the capacity to connect and to coordinate with other countries, because during the pandemic, we have a lesson learned that will be mentioned in a minute about COVID. The following, please. We also have during the pandemic and in pandemic situations, we have the opportunity, because of the limited resources, the limited offer of products for dealing with the pandemic, we have an opportunity for those wanting to introduce falsified medical products or substandard medical products, and that was the situation during the COVID pandemic. And it's also recognized and addressed by the new pandemic agreement that systems for following up and to be able to prevent, to detect, prevent, and respond to substandard and falsified medical products should be in place and well developed. And for that is key the collaboration between countries at the region and also with WHO. WHO has a powerful system for the vigilance and monitoring of the substandard and falsified medical products. And we have in place in the region a regional network of focal points for the prevention, detection, and response to substandard and falsified medical products. So it's important to get that in mind, to be able to have this collaboration and to avoid, spending energy in initiatives that at the end don't pay. So, and lastly, in the area to summarize this component of the 8th article of the pandemic agreement, we have the importance highlighted for public information and use of guidelines in terms of the importance of transparency in sharing the information. For example, when we have safety events or safety concerns, we don't need to keep this within the country. It's important to share this information to promote the joint action and to be able to respond to that safety concern jointly, because that would be better than having kind of not being open to other countries and trying to keep this within the country for being afraid perhaps of being exposed. But this is not the matter. The matter is trying to resolve jointly and quickly any safety concerns. And that is a matter of transparency and also of guidance in terms of what we should communicate, what should be taken into account for risk management and risk control and risk minimization.